I want to share an experience, and I'd like you to comment on this experience. Uh, like you said earlier, when you fast for more than 12 hours, your body is now sort of running out of enough glucose, so it's going to start using triglycerides or the fat,
Yeah.
which your body can do.
Yeah.
And then after a certain point, if it's really long, then it starts producing ketones, and that's a third source of energy.
Yeah.
Right. And I realized when I tried to do a 24 and a couple of times I did the 36-hour fast, there was this transition between my body had used up the glucose, it was using fat, and I think it was beginning to use ketones, but the transition was not happening fast enough. This metabolic flexibility, as it's called, was not happening, and so I started feeling a little bit low energy. And that was a signal to me that, I need to do this a few more times, a little bit shorter, rather than jump to a 36-hour fast directly. Right. So that was one observation. The second observation was, and I did not know this, I learned this, is that our body can use, our brains can use glucose. It can't use fat, but then it can use ketones. And so if fat is your only fuel because the glucose is over, and the ketones have not yet formed, your brain is running on fumes.
Yeah.
Right. And so are all these observations and my explanation accurate, Vijay, or is there something that I've misstated?
No, I think that your observations are very insightful and align with what science shows, Nikhil. What I want to caution people here is that level of awareness that you have, based on how much I know of you, is very high. You're very attuned with how your body feels. Most of us need to invest time and effort to get to that level of attunement. At first, we would go through, it could be related. Oh my God, am I feeling this? And it's fear driven. But you just have to keep working on it, right? So I think what you experienced is very, very aligned. However, what I would say is that while you go through these, when you were transitioning from fasted state to ketogenic state, again, I think there is immense benefit with brain-related clarity and mood in those who are insulin resistant, who experience brain fog as a result of that. There is also an instances where you experience brain fog that are not related to insulin resistance, and that's difficult to decipher. So for that, you need an additional level of awareness, which is how is my body, how am I metabolically, right? So you need to understand what are your parameters, am I insulin, all of that, right? So just going after some of these symptoms is correct, but you also need the second level of awareness.
So the two key takeaways are: make sure you, if you are going to do it, see how your body feels, and do not do the same level of activity that you would have otherwise done, because that activity is going to use up some source of energy, given that you're not putting in food, and that usually ends up being, it'll start breaking down your muscle and stuff that you don't want it being used, you don't want your body using as a fuel source, right?
Exactly.